A woman stops breathing while in Memphis police custody. She later dies in the hospital. WRG investigators found out it wasn't until 2 years later that MPD asked the state to decertify two of the officers on that scene that day, meaning revoke their credentials that are needed to work in law enforcement in Tennessee. It is a very serious request.
It is. But as our chief investigator Jessica Gertler reports, some argue the department didn't take the process seriously, resulting in even more questions as to what exactly happened that day.
Memphis 911, emergency, do you need police, fire, ambulance?
September 13th, 2020. Officers trained to deal with mental health crises called to an apartment. Inside, they found Nicole Claiborne.
I don't know if you've ever been around a schizophrenic, but they become well aware of the characters that are not real.
Natasha Bell is Claiborne's twin sister. She believes that morning was like the others.
I've talked Nicole down many times when she thought she was hearing things.
Police stated Claiborne appeared to be in crisis, but was nonviolent. They eventually left. 11 hours later, the same officers responded to a pet store bathroom where Claiborne was yelling, singing, and praying. Police records state she was incoherent, extremely disoriented, and flailing her arms. Despite what they already knew about Claiborne and despite their previous de-escalation training, she was immediately handcuffed. In the squad car, she became stiff and unresponsive, so an officer poured ice and water on her from a personal drinking cup, then administered 2 doses of Narcan. When that didn't work, they started CPR, at first with her hands still cuffed behind her back. She was then taken to St. Francis Hospital.
As soon as I found out she was in critical condition in the hospital, I dropped everything I was doing in San Francisco and I flew straight into Memphis.
She died before Bell landed, her family shocked, confused.
Well, I know this was investigated by Internal Affairs, and they've done their best to keep us out, not get us information.
Internal police documents state a death report wasn't taken until a day after Claiborne died, and that hospital staff didn't even know she was in police custody. Despite policy, the Homicide Bureau and Internal Affairs weren't contacted from the scene. Crime Scene never showed up to photograph the squad car for any possible evidence. In fact, Claiborne's family had to request an autopsy. We just got a copy of that report. It noted multiple contusions and scattered abrasions and scabs. The report noted hepatic cirrhosis, swelling and damage to the brain, multiple rib fractures, and more. It concluded, based on all currently known and available information, the cause of death is best attributed to complications of chronic alcoholism. The manner of death is natural.
Nicole struggled with mental health and a battle with alcoholism, but she didn't deserve to die the way she died.
Bell says the report left her with even more questions. So we requested the body camera footage back in October. MPD tells us it will be ready on or before September 18th, almost a year after we made the request. What we have uncovered, internal investigative records stating 4 officers were called into question for their role that day. 1 was cleared, and another received a written reprimand for turning off his body camera. Lieutenant Freddie Romero was questioned for not following protocol, like making sure the paperwork was complete, contacting the proper departments, and allowing an officer to leave the hospital. Officer Keith Snyder, only in the field for 23 days, was accused of failing to immediately render CPR and not repositioning the handcuffs.
Romero and Snyder resigned before they could be disciplined. Memphis police never sent the case to the district attorney's office to see if there was any criminal wrongdoing, because they say there was no allegations, nor did they find any officers to have used excessive force.
They did, however, notify the state's policing board almost 2 years later, requesting Snyder and Romero be decertified so they can no longer work in law enforcement in Tennessee.
How come such a delay on that? Don't know.
I do not.
Like Claiborne's family, they too wanted more information.
So for a span of 8 minutes, there were several officers around and nobody jumped in to try to help her. Is that kind of what we're looking at here? Okay.
MPD can provide any documentation it wants to support its case, but it didn't turn over any video or the autopsy report. It didn't even send a representative to the hearing who handled the internal investigation.
Is there anybody here that can answer the questions that the commissioners have asked?
The only person able to answer questions was Snyder. He showed up with a representative from the new police department he's working for.
I do remember him telling me how good that we had done, and I had no insinuation that I had done anything wrong or that there was anything that was going to be investigated.
Snyder told the board he only resigned because his family moved to a new city. As for Romero, a family emergency reportedly kept him from being at the meeting.
Do we know what his status has been?
Yes, I believe he's currently an investigator with the Shelby County District Attorney's Office.
Because the board had too many questions, it voted to take no action, allowing both officers to keep their certification. In a statement, MPD says in part, the internal investigation, including hearings, took over a year, and then internal investigators go over everything in the file and determine whether to request decertification. There were ISB command staff changes due to retirement, which likely delayed the process. And they've established new procedures to make sure these requests are made more expeditiously in the future.
You can see why there's a lack of trust.
Attorney Jake Brown has represented citizens who filed police misconduct cases before.
If the city is referring these, but sort of in name only, right? If they're not giving the post people what they need to determine, to evaluate the referrals, then there's a problem.
That's why Bell says she submitted her sister's case to the DOJ, which currently has an open civil rights investigation into MPD. Last month, the feds thanked her for the information.
I still can't hardly believe.
Claiborne was only 35 years old. She was known for her loving and fun spirit.
She's not just my sister, she's my twin. She had a son. She shouldn't be dead.
Jessica Gertler, WREG, News Channel 3.